Alright then folks, welcome back to the channel. And there she is. It is still here for those of you that have been asking where is the Quattro Escort. It is still in the workshop. I just haven't had the focus on this thing for a little while whilst we've been tackling some bits and pieces on the RS over there. But I figured what better way to answer all the questions than to just do a video on the thing. We have got plenty to do on this and it has been some time since we've done anything. So here she is. We are going to get some bits done on this. But for anyone that's new to the channel, anyone that don't know what this is my Mark V Escort Harrier, and we have gone ahead and cut all the floor out of this thing, and we are a good portion of the way through now fitting an Audi S3 floor pan. We've done a number of things on this thing already. We've already rebuilt the sills, so it's had all new outer sills on the Escort. We've added new inner sill structure, and on this side we've made another structure inside the sill and joined the floor pan to the sill, and that is very much what we're going to be getting onto in this video on the driver's side over there. We've already made rear tubs for it, we've made new inner flitch panels and a number of other things, rust repairs and whatnot. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen this thing before, go back, check out some other videos and it'll bring you up to speed on where we're at with this. We do still have a number of things left to do. We've got to basically attach all the rear end here and do a new boot floor. Still need to attach all the bulkhead up there. And the main issue at this point is getting the strut towers to work, because as it stands at the minute they are a little bit too high. So it's going to be a custom shock job for that. So needless to say, this thing is going to be a Quattro Escort come the end. Whether or not I keep the 1.8 turbo engine, I'm not quite decided on that yet. I might go down a different avenue on that. But without further ado, and me not talking for most of this video, I think what I'm going to do is chuck some work clothes on. We'll flip this thing over and then I'll talk you through the steps we're going to be making in this video and make a start on it. So, pick back up in a sec. Right, so before we dive straight into this, what is the plan? Well, the plan is we need to unpick each and every one of these spot welds all along here, all over the place, and basically remove this entire section here up to this point. We shall leave this in place because that doesn't need to be cut out, and then when we get to here we need to basically scribe a line all the way across, cut all of that out right up to about here, back up there, and then we can lose all of that rust and make a new piece to go in there to join up to what's left of the original. So without further ado, put the old headphones on and get cracking and start drilling some spot welds. A job I really enjoy. Definitely don't enjoy this. Right, let's do it. You can tell I haven't done that for a little while, the old spot weld drill bit. That managed to go through a good number of times. But as you can see, this is what you're left with when you start removing panels off of an Audi. You get all of this wax oil stuff and it is absolutely everywhere. And if you don't get rid of it, you can't weld it properly. Ask me how I know, it is an absolute bugger. So what I'm going to do is now all this is opened up, I'll clean out all of this muck as much as I physically can, get all that cleaned back, and there's a few little areas I just want to address now. I've got access to them, where I've done the inner sill. There's just that little bit I need to weld up, that little bit I need to weld up, spray it all back up, and then we're ready to rock and roll onto the next bit. So give us 5, I'll get on with that, and I'll pick you guys back up in a minute. Oh my god, what the hell is going on with these lights, man? If anyone knows why that's flickering, please let me know in the comment section, because it's driving me nuts. I'm guessing it's something to do with the frame rate, I don't know, but it's driving me crazy. I'm going to get some different lights. Right, let's bring it up to speed on the car anyway. So I've done some stitch welding where I wanted to do some stitch welding, cleaned off all the wax oil from in here, and now we're all sprayed up with some weld-free primer. So we're all good to go on that front. However, as the age-old saying goes, I would have done it differently in hindsight. And I would have done this differently. This, for whatever reason, I had tapering off right down to here, and it just looked absolutely pants. And it did not resemble that side one bit. So typically, I've cut it all out and I'm going to redo it, because now I know that was there, it would have bugged the crap out of me and I wouldn't have been able to live with it. So it's gone. We have got to rebuild this section now before we can move on to anything else. Now I have had to beat all of this in here as well, because this was protruding down. So yeah, that's all been beaten back, but what I need to do now is make a new lip to come off of here to basically imitate that. That needs to go all the way around there. That then needs to be welded to that, and then we need to make a new little bit of sill to come down with a return on it as well. Then once we've done that, we can actually move on to all of this bit, all this inner structure bit in here, and then finally we can work on all this outer structure for up there as well. So, time to get some metal out and actually start making some progress on this rather than going backwards. Let's do it. And there we have our little right angle piece. So this needs to go somewhere in there like that, and now we need to start the process of trying to form this end piece to suit that. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that curved bit there just yet, but we'll figure it out. But I'm going to pick you guys up next time down here, because I need to go out and have dinner with the lads, so I shall see you next time down here. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially back to the start now that we've got that sorted out. So now we can actually start doing what I was hoping to get on with at the beginning of this video. And that is going to be sorting out all this centre section here. Now I've picked out all my old bits of CAD that I've drawn up for the other side, and for the most part they're pretty much bang on, as you'd kind of expect really. So yeah, I just need to do some minor adjustments to some of these. Mainly because where I've done bead rolls, little zigzags there, I've not done them identically on both sides, so I just need to adjust along here where I've cut out for those. And the only thing I didn't save, was this piece that went in here. So I'll remake that, I'll redo my bits of CAD, and then we shall crack on, cut this all out of metal, and get back to where we wanted to be a little while ago. Right. Time to get busy.
Extra, extra, read all about it. 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 Hot off the press, brand new news, front page, who is this? All black on, real low key, take a guess. I stand out from the rest, no contest. I've been the man, I am him. Only fear God with the fear God I'm in. Been blessed, prayed up, amen. Now I'm getting to this money like a paper route kid. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra.
And that is my arts and crafts session done. So obviously everything all laps around nicely. Obviously this needs to be cut down ever so slightly, but I'll do that when it comes to the metal. Everything's been notched for my bead rolls here, so that all sits perfect. And then obviously down here follows this little transition all the way across, and then we just got our little infill bit there. But it is super late now, so I am going to bugger off home. I shall pick you guys back up tomorrow. We will knock this all out of steel and start welding it in. So I'll see you tomorrow. as you can see, I had to move my car around because those bloody lights were wreaking havoc with my welding mask as well. So I've had to turn the car around so I can get my mask somewhat out of the way of that. But I will be taking them down tomorrow, so apologies for all this flickering nonsense. They will be gone as of tomorrow because they're driving me nuts. But getting back to the car, we are done. I've just knuckled down, cracked on and got it done. So that was probably a healthy old bit of time-lapse, I would have thought. But we're there, folks. So that is that phase of things now done, fully welded in. Bit of spray paint, managed to spray too much on and get a load of runs in it. Dope. But just been picking through all my other bits of template that I made for up that side, and lo and behold, it fits in there like a stocking on a chicken's leg, which means I must have done something right, eh? So now it is super late. I'm going to go home and I'll pick you guys back up tomorrow when we're ready to start making the sheet metal to go along there and finish off this little endeavour. So see you tomorrow. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot, man. So we've got the panel in, all hunky-dory there. However, what you may notice is it's now got dimple dies in it. After I've welded it in, you would not believe the struggle I've just had trying to get those dimple dies in. It weren't until after I'd welded the sodding thing in that I realised I hadn't dimple dyed it like the other side. My god, man, that was a chore, that was. So I've had to try and wedge my dimple die down through the back there with a nut and then try and bolt it from this side to try and basically make the dimple die. That was a struggle, and I won't be doing that again because I don't fancy that level of struggle again. But what we need to do now is work on this piece here. Again, that's got dimple dies in it, so I need to remind myself not to forget the dimple dies. But we need to make this piece here now, because as I found with that side, I made that side, then that side, and then this little infill bit in the middle here, I've got two fixed points to work this transition in, and this transition on this side is a little bit more abrupt than up the top there. So yeah, I need to get that bit in and then we can work on that bit. However, I don't know if I'm going to form this in one piece like I did up the top. This side I might actually need to basically cut in an infill piece, but we shall see what happens on that one. But we officially have no lights because we've got a power cut here in Eastbourne at the moment, so hopefully what I film next is actually going to be usable, because we need to turn this, which is my bit of CAD from the other side, still works perfectly fine with the side we're on now, but we need to turn that into some steel down there, and hopefully the power's back on so we can weld it in and move on to the next piece in the middle. So on the tripods, let's get cracking. Okay, so we have a panel and we're nearly there with it. And yes, I got my dimple dies in, hurrah. But what I have just noticed is on this side, I don't know if you can pick it up in this light, it is getting very dark very quickly in here, so I might have to pull away from it since we still got no power. But hopefully you can see that through the camera. I've got a bit of a belly in that panel there. I've had to bash a divot into it to suit something that was hanging off the A pillar on that side. And I'm in two minds now whether or not to do that on this side. I mean, I don't have to on this side, but I don't know if I'm overthinking it or what. I mean, what would you do? I'm kind of inclined to replicate that down here, just so everything flows. Do you know what I mean? Just so that side is more or less identical to this side, because I think it'll bug me if I don't. I don't know. Am I overthinking it? Am I just being silly? Should I just leave it as is? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Everything else is all just going to be symmetrical pretty much. Oh, I don't know. I might have to have a ponder over that, because I think I'm going to have to go home in a minute, because it is getting rather dark in here. The sun is starting to set, boys and girls. So, right, I'll pick the camera back up when I've decided on what I'm going to do with that, and we shall go from there. We've got lights again, folks. Now it is the following day. I had to give up filming last night. It was just no point. It was just getting too dark. But we have gone ahead and finished the panel. I was just working off little torches last night in the end, but that one is now all done. And like I say, I've imitated that sort of divot there, like it is up on the top there. So that is all tickety-boo. Obviously I couldn't use the welder last night, so I couldn't weld that in. But before it got way too dark, I did start making my template for this, because I have absolutely no idea where the original one went. So what we need to do is make this, which will infill that piece. But first and foremost, I'm going to weld that in and get all that buttoned up. And then we'll make that piece, and then we'll move back and make that piece. So welder on, get that bit chucked in, and move on to the next bit. nice simple little panel in there then, folks. And yes, I did forget to do my spot weld holes, because I don't know if you've noticed, but I seem to be forgetting a whole lot lately. I don't know what's going on with me, but I did manage to remember that, so that's something at least, I guess. So yeah, it's very much a case of wait for the old U-pole weld free primer to go off, and then we need to do very much the same as I did on that side, which is tack it in certain places, and then when we get to this area here, you can see there's a gap. What I need to do is tack it, bang it down slightly, tack it, bang it down, blah 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 blah. And then once that's all where I need it to be, we'll fully weld it out, and then job is a good one, and then we can move on to that piece. So give us 5 minutes, I'll get the welder out, wait for that to go off, and yeah, we'll start welding some stuff back in again. Beautiful, look at that. That is that panel in then, folks. Obviously all ground back, bit of primer on there to stop it rusting. And we are now onto this piece here. I need to transition from this little 45 here to flat here via that bit there. Now that is quite a steep transition there, whereas on the other side it was quite a shallow sort of smooth transition. So not quite sure how I'm going to go about doing that, but I think next step's going to be getting some CAD out, see if we can figure something out there. I think I'm going to have to do this main piece as one, cut a slit in, and then add a piece to imitate that to transition up to that. But we shall see what happens. I'm sure we'll figure out one way or another. So let's get some CAD out and we will see what we can do with that. Who doesn't love some arts and crafts then? So this is my latest little bit of CAD, and then this is the second piece. So as I said, I'm not going to be able to get this transition to taper off there with the angle of that. So I'm going to do this in two pieces. That bit's then going to slot in there like that and then be welded in, and then that way this will replicate that sort of angled piece there, and it should all look pretty pucker, to be honest. And then we're still sort of in keeping with what's going on over the top. So to the bench, let's go and cut this out and see if we can make this happen tonight. Not too shabby at all, ladies and gentlemen. Quite happy with that. Obviously this transition here is a lot different to that one, but I'm working to the floor pan. There's not really a lot I can do with that to make it like for like. So yeah, happy with that though. I have cut a lot of the footage out because I'm conscious of how long this video is probably going to be. So yeah, sorry if it's a bit skippy, but I don't want it to be a 3-hour long episode. But next step then, folks, is going to be finishing this sill off, which involves making a new piece to go around here. And as you can see on this one, I've got to try and redo that curved step there, which I seem to remember being a bit of a challenge on the last one. So yeah, looking forward to that. But we need to come off of here, that little curved step there, another little step up here, across, and then it's got to return back on itself down there, all the while having a little lip back there to weld onto that. And then we've got to do some bead rolls in it like I've done on that side. So let's stop waffling, because this video is probably already way too long, and we'll get cracking, get that last bit done, and then I think we're done as far as the sills are concerned. I think it's only the back and the front to attach now, and then and then we're almost there with a full shell. Right, I said I'm going to stop waffling, but I haven't. Let's get on with it. And there we go, look at that. Quite happy with how that's come out. I did forget about the whole bead rolling thing and how it misshapes all of that. So if I hold that in where it roughly needs to go, don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's all kind of distorted this around this corner now. So I'm going to start tacking over here, start tacking all the way down, and then I'll start folding that piece back in to where it needs to be. So yeah, all in all, not too bad. So I'm going to let weld free primer go off on the back of that, and then we'll fire up the trusty welder and we'll get to welding. So next step, let's do it. We are done then, folks. Look at that. It is officially time to retire these gloves. These have definitely seen better days. And we are there with this part of the Quattro build. Very, very happy with how that turned out. It's very, very close in terms of looks to the other side. It's just mainly that bit there that differs, but yeah, I had to work to what was there. So happy days. What I do need to do obviously is make the little platform for here, like I've done on that side, and then I also want to make a couple of plates that will go in and fill this area out, just to finish that off. Same again on that side. But that is the only bits left to do along the sills now. Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. I still need to make some sort of pad for here for jacking up as well on both sides. So we will get round to that. It's not been high on the priority list. What we're going to get up to on the next episode with this thing, I don't know, because it's getting to the point now where it's all just little bits and pieces that I need to do. Obviously join all the back panel to the chassis. Yeah, just various little bits and pieces, but that is going to be a wrap for this one. This has been one hell of a job getting this all sorted out, and I've found myself being quite rusty with all this metal work. It's been a while since I've got involved in this thing, but we've got out the back of it, so happy days. But like I say, that is going to be a wrap for this one, folks. So I appreciate you all watching. If you're still around, this has probably been a long episode, to be fair. But yeah, hopefully you hang around for the next one, and hopefully you hang around to see more on the tube chassis Escort Cosworth WRC replica. We are slowly starting to get tube in. I still need to try and find a tube bender from somewhere, but stick around, we'll have plenty more coming up in the near future. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and I hopefully will see you on the next one. Peace. Couldn't go without showing you this thing. Look at that. That is so cool. Oh yes. See you on the next one.